Give us 60 minutes and we'll give you Nelson Radio every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m. on KTLK AM 1150. With 29 years in the mortgage business and an array of top-level guests visiting the show, Nelson is in a unique position to bring you cutting-edge information on real estate, business, finance, and law. If you have any questions for Nelson or any of his guests, give him a call at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136. Or check him out online at nelsonradio.com.
Nelson Radio.
Welcome back to Nelson Radio, right here on KTLK AM 1150 as we broadcast from this beautiful estate up in Solvang. And this segment brought to you by our partner, Insurance Incorporated. Throughout this program, you have the chance to give us a call. You can reach us direct, 888-888-2136, or click through at nelsonradio.com. We'll have the full photo essay of this beautiful estate on our website, nelsonradio.com. I'm pleased to announce the Commander-in-Chief of Solvang, Jim Richardson, fourth-generation native, born in Southern California, and now the mayor since when, Jim?
Since 2008.
And so give us a peek behind the curtain. What's that like to come up in a political forum like this? Is it smooth sailing? Just give us a little bit of a snapshot.
I'll give you a brief history of my entry into politics. I used to live in Utah, and there was a flood that damaged our properties, and the city at that time decided that they would like to have control of the property, and I decided they shouldn't have control of the property.
Right.
And as a result of that, I interacted with the city quite closely. Then moved forward a couple of years, and we were transferred to Southern California from Utah. And I started watching the Board of Supervisors, Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors and Los Angeles City board meetings on television. That kind of piqued my interest.
Right.
Well, when I was moved to Solvang, I thought, well, I'll watch the Solvang City Council meetings on television, but it was on cable and I have satellite. So I had to go down to the council chambers, and I sat there and listened a while, and pretty soon I couldn't help myself. I started talking and making suggestions and offering ideas. So Ed Andrasik, who was the councilman at that time, decided I should be on the Planning Commission. So I was appointed to the Planning Commission in 2000. After that, I was still working, and I retired at the end of 2000. And then we as a retired couple, we took an RV trip and did the RV thing for about 4 years. And I lost interest in that. And at that time, I thought there was an opening on the Parks and Rec Commission. So I applied for that and received that. I was on there for about a year when one of the council people resigned because of a move out of city. And so there were 6 of us that applied for his seat, and I was given the seat. Then the following election, I ran for the seat, ran unopposed, and was awarded that seat. Then with that following 2 years, Solvang became a charter city.
Right.
At that point, we had an electable mayor. So I ran for that slot and became the first elected mayor of Solvang in 2008. And I was reelected in 2010 and reelected in 2012. And I'll be running in 2014, hopefully, for reelection.
Yeah.
So I started this political business when I was 67 years old.
And I want to focus on the positive things. Obviously, put politics in today's world right on the heels of the government shutdown and reopening. It's a contentious topic, but let's talk about some of the positives. And one of those, you have a number of organizations that you're involved with, but I wanted you to share with our listeners on a few of them. Tell us a little bit about the Solvang Vikings.
The Solvang Vikings were founded in Los Angeles, and the Solvang part of it came into being in about the mid-1970s. The Solvang Vikings is a philanthropic social organization. Our function is to provide medical care for those people that can't afford it. And we have fundraisers and donations and that sorts of things. The medical care we give is a van for somebody that needs a van, or we build a ramp in their homes, or we pay their medical bills. Every year at Christmas time, we hold a Christmas party at the Marriott Hotel in Buellton for handicapped children. We get 400 to 500 of those. Each of these organizations that take care of the handicapped children make a wish to the Vikings, and we give them whatever that wish is, a bunch of laptop computers or a motorized wheelchair or something like that, then each of the children visit Santa Claus and get a gift from Santa Claus. So, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So we get about 400 to 500 kids at that.
Wonderful effort. What about the Danish Brotherhood?
The Danish Brotherhood is an offshoot. As you know, the Danes first settled Solvang in 1911. In fact, we just celebrated our 100th anniversary 2 years ago, and they're very clannish. So there's a society, the Danish Brotherhood and the Danish Sisterhood, and it's formed across the United States, and our chapter has been in existence. Geez, I can't remember when, but it's been here long. But the idea is that it's comprised mostly of Danes, and it's a monthly meeting where we have a meeting and talk business, and then after that, it's a Danish party time. We have a meal, and we have the Danish national drink called aquavit and beer, and so that's a monthly thing. And it's funny that the Danish Brotherhood, you don't have to be Danish to belong to it. I'm not Danish. Richardson is spelled S-O-N, except during Danish days, which is S-E-N. But so I'm a proud member of the Danish Brotherhood.
Nice. In the Solvang Men's Forum.
The Solvang Men's Forum was an offshoot in the mid-'70s of the local Rotary Club. Mm-hmm. They formed to just share comradeship between successful men. The average age in the men's forum is around 75 or 80 years old. And there's about 35, 40 members, and each one of those members have been a successful individual. We have a moderator who is a former administrative director of the local hospital and a current columnist in the paper. And each week, we meet on Mondays. Each week, one of the members invites a speaker. And the member gives his biography, and then it has the speaker speak for about half an hour. And we get a wide-ranging group of speakers from, we had a prison warden, we've had veterinarians, we've had doctors, we've had space people, we've had entertainment people, we've had people that one I can remember is the entertainment director for an Indian casino, and the background of that. And it's just this wide variety of speakers from CPAs to winemakers and everything in between, even a sheriff or two. So
yeah, fantastic.
It's a fantastic organization.
I think that's it's a great area of focus on all of these different organizations, and obviously, as the commander-in-chief and the mayor of Solvang, you have, as we're talking throughout our show, plenty of responsibilities as a negotiator. Are those negotiations tough as a mayor as you lead the charge?
Well, let me give you a background on mayorhood in Solvang. Solvang government is a council city manager form, mm-hmm. which is similar to a corporation. The council is the board of directors. The city manager is the president of the corporation. There is a 5-member board. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the 5. I have 1 vote. And I get to deal with the mallet, with the hammer at meetings. But other than that's the extent of the power that any one of us on the council have.
So it's by committee.
Yes. We can hire and fire the city manager, but we cannot negotiate or deal with the employees. That's his job. Mm-hmm. So as a negotiation, we negotiate live online during meetings because of certain California laws that we can't do that behind the scene.
Right.
We will an item will come up on the agenda. We'll get presentation from the staff on the item. The public will speak their opinion on the item, and then the council as a whole will discuss it. And in that process, we'll negotiate and then come up with a vote whether to pass or fail the particular item.
Is it difficult doing that live?
We have such a well-respected group of people that there's very little contention. And some people, I would say a majority of our votes are 5-0. Some people say that under those conditions, we're really reflecting the staff's position. But in reality, we agree with the staff and we discuss these issues. Once in a while, we'll have a 4-1 vote, very rarely a 3-2 vote, although we had some recently. But that's all the negotiation we can do. Offline, as mayor, I represent the city of Solvang in public functions, and I have a bully pulpit. too. And under those conditions, I try to facilitate different groups to come together for the benefit of Solvang, and have been successful, some of them.
It sounds to me, if you're having 5-0 votes, that's a sign of leadership and a community that's actually functioning well together, not necessarily that you're just approving everything or rubber stamping everything.
There's some truth to that, yes.
There's some truth to that. You're listening to Nelson Radio. We're with the mayor of Solvang, Jim Richardson. We're talking about negotiations, as we have been throughout our show. We will have available our e-guide on our website, nelsonradio.com, the 5 keys to negotiating for your house successfully. I'll tease you with one of them, which is our 4th, knowing your lender. There's plenty of cowboys out there in the mortgage industry, knowing the difference between being pre-qualified or approved, whether your rate is guaranteed and waiting for you at the finish line, whether that rate can improve as the market improves. There's a variety of different techniques that you'll need to understand in these key negotiations. 5 keys to negotiate for your house successfully. Check that out at nelsonradio.com or call me direct at 888-888-2136. That's 888-888-2136 or nelsonradio.com. Jim, let me ask you about this. The Valley Plan, it's in its 13th year. It has 7 years remaining. You'd mentioned, I think somewhere that I picked up, that it's one of your initiatives to revitalize that, to rekindle that.
That's called the Valley Blueprint. It was
Right.
It was after 2 or 3 years of real negotiating and struggle with a large contingent of the movers and shakers in the Valley to come up with various areas of direction for the following 20 years. Right now, we're in the 13th year because it started in 2000. My campaign has stressed parks, and the park portion of the Valley Blueprint. It's been relatively successful. We've opened 2 parks, I believe, in the Valley since that time, and the other portions of it are traffic, which I'm interested in. And I like to say that, and the people in Caltrans don't appreciate this, I like to say that everybody that has a driver's license is an amateur traffic engineer. So I discuss, and I'm on friendly terms with Caltrans, and I remind them of that.
Right.
And sometimes they agree with me, and sometimes they don't. One of my proudest achievements with Caltrans are 2 right turn arrows at 2 intersections in Solvang. I was able to initiate and get it put into place. It saved much gas in the meantime because of music.
And the Blueprint Plan started 13 years ago. Is it still serving as an adequate North Star? Is it created that sort of vision that's leading the city?
It's been kind of pushed into the dustbins. Every now and again, somebody will mention it and will point at it, depending on the subject at hand. But it's not to the forefront like it should be. In the meantime, the county has come up with after several years of negotiation and hard work, has come up with a land use planning for the Valley, which it takes into account the Valley Blueprint, but also sets up the rules on how the Valley will be developed.
Wise leadership. And I have to say, we mentioned this right before we went on air, and that was congratulations to you, 54 years of marriage. You're still sleeping indoors, right?
Yeah. I like to say that 54 years, it really seems like a lot longer than 54 years.
There you go. And obviously you didn't make eye contact with your wife when you said that. The mayor of Solvang, Jim Richardson, I want to thank you for being with us. You're listening to Nelson Radio. We've been talking about negotiations and getting a peek behind the politics and the vision of this beautiful city. This segment brought to you by Insurance Inc. Call us direct, 888-888-2136. Click through at nelsonradio.com, and you'll be able to see these pictures of this beautiful estate that's for sale with Lonnie Mintz. Jim, I want to thank you for being with us.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Nelson is a licensed lender under the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 331060.
This is Nelson from Nelson Radio, and it's important that we talk about a very serious issue. We had bad lending practices that led to the mortgage meltdown, but now we've got the challenge of deplorable customer service coming out of the meltdown. Bottom line, getting a new loan can be like pulling teeth without Novocaine. I've got the solution. Academy Mortgage and my team are injecting into the industry real performance and real accountability. Here are the facts. Appraisals in less than a week. Rate guarantees that can improve if the market goes down. Purchase transactions with our market-exclusive close-on-time guarantees and refinance transactions in as little as 30 days. Who would have thunk? Guaranteed rates and guaranteed performance from your mortgage lender. Call me, Nelson, an accountable loan expert for nearly 3 decades. Direct at 888-888-2136. That's Nelson at 888-888-2136, 888-888-2136, or at strongcreditrewards.com.